I never thought my life would turn into a living nightmare. 3 years of carrying a pregnancy that refused to come forth. 3 years of shame, whispers, and stares that cut deeper than a knife. It all began the day I said I do to the love of my life. She must not marry before my daughter. My aunt, Mama Ejiro, spat, her voice filled with venom. It was my wedding day, and I was in my white gown, glowing with happiness. I had found love in Chike, a man who adored me beyond reason. But my aunt, the woman my late mother called sister, stood in the middle of the compound, eyes blazing with hatred. If she marries before Ejiro, she will suffer, she screamed. She will carry a pregnancy that will never end. People gasped. Some laughed nervously, brushing it off as the ranting of a bitter woman. But I felt something cold crawl up my spine. I was Igbo, and I knew curses were not to be taken lightly. Ignore her, Chike whispered, squeezing my hand. Nothing will happen to you. I believed him. I wanted to believe him. A year passed, and my womb remained empty. Then, on our first anniversary, joy flooded my heart when 2 pink lines confirmed what I had been praying for. I was pregnant. Chike lifted me in his arms, spinning me around. God has done it, my love. The first few months were smooth. I had morning sickness, cravings, and mood swings. But by the 9th month, when I expected labor pains, nothing happened. The 10th month came, then the 11th, and still my stomach remained round and heavy. Doctors were confused. They ran tests, but the baby was healthy. No complications, no reason for delay. Just wait, they said. Some pregnancies take longer than expected. A year passed. 2 years. People began to talk. Witch, they whispered behind my back. She used charms to trap her husband. Her baby is a demon child. Chike stood by me, but I saw the fear in his eyes. Was he beginning to doubt me too? Desperate, I sought help. Church vigils, prayer mountains, native doctors. Nothing worked. Then one night, as I lay awake, sweating despite the cool breeze, I heard a voice, low, airy but unmistakable. She must not marry before my daughter. I sat up, heart pounding. Mama Ejiro's curse. She had done this to me. The next morning, I packed my bags and went back to the village. I needed answers. When I arrived at Mama Ejiro's compound, she was seated outside, chewing bitter cola. The moment she saw me, she laughed. A deep, wicked laugh. You finally know, she said. You thought you could marry before Ejiro and live happily. No, you will suffer until you beg. Tears burned my eyes. What do you want from me? She leaned forward, her eyes gleaming. Crawl before me and beg for my mercy. Swear that Ejiro will marry before you carry another pregnancy. I trembled. Was this the only way to be free? Will I have to give in to this wicked woman? My decision will change everything. I fell to my knees, but not in surrender. My hands gripped the earth, my heart pounding as rage and pain clashed inside me. I will not beg you, Mama Ejiro, I said, my voice shaking but firm. You're not God. Her smile faded, then remained cursed. She turned and spat on the ground. Something cold and unseen wrapped around my belly, making me groan in pain. My baby kicked violently, as if struggling against an invisible force. I grasped, clutching my stomach. Leave now, she snared, or die with that thing inside you. I staggered to my feet, every fiber of my being screaming for me to fight back. But how? What power did I have against a woman who died with darkness?
I went straight to the only person who could help me, Mama Ngozi, the oldest prayer warrior in my village. Mama Ngozi lived in a small hut. Her walls decorated with Bible verses. The moment she saw me, she sighed. "I've been expecting you, my daughter," she said, her eyes filled with wisdom. She placed her wrinkled hands on my belly and closed her eyes. Suddenly, the air in the room changed. A dark presence glittered around us. "She must not marry before my daughter," the voice echoed again, shaking the hut. Mama Ngozi didn't flinch. She began to pray, her voice rising like fire. "Every chain of darkness break, every demonic covenant scatter." I fell to the floor, screaming. A shadowy force clawed at my belly, fighting to keep its grip on me. Mama Ngozi didn't stop. She pressed her hands harder against me, her voice now a roar of authority. "By the power of Jesus Christ, I command every curse to be broken." A sharp, piercing pain shot through me. I screamed as my belly burned with heat. Suddenly, a loud crack echoed in the room, like a chain snapping in the air. Then silence. I collapsed, my breath shallow. The weight on my belly was gone. Mama Ngozi smiled. "It is done." That night, I went into labor. After 3 years of waiting, 3 years of mockery, 3 years of pain, my body finally released what it had held captive. The labor was long, but I refused to give up. With every push, I remembered the insult, the tears, the nights I begged God for mercy. And then, a cry, a loud, healthy cry. Tears streamed down my face as the midwife placed my baby in my arms. My son, my miracle, the proof that no curse was stronger than God. Chike held both of us, sobbing like a child. "You did it, my love. You won." 2 weeks later, news spread that Mama Ejiro had fallen ill. Her skin was covered in strange burns, and she screamed in her sleep, haunted by unseen forces. I visited her one last time. She lay weak. Her once powerful voice was now a whisper. "Forgive me, Adana." I looked at her. The woman who had cursed me, broken me, tried to destroy my joy. "You don't need my forgiveness," I said softly. "You need God's." I walked away, leaving her to face her own demons. A year later, I stood in my home, rocking my son to sleep. The past felt like a distant dream, a nightmare that no longer had power over me. I had suffered, but I had won. Because in the end, no curse, no darkness, no evil could stand against the power of God.